Good afternoon, people of the great southern land, people of the planet Earth. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for your time. Give me a comment. Let me know that I'm transmitting okay. Let me know where you are in the world. So I've titled this video, Religion and Spirituality, Ego Indoctrination, Trigger Warning attached to that. The reason I'm doing this video is because I'm getting quite a few comments on some of my posts by some religious people, and I really wanted to speak to some of what is being said, because it appears, in fact, that on their behalf there is a lot of contradiction in what they're doing and saying compared to what the Bible says. So for those men and women who are bound by that Bible, remembering that the Bible is just a guide for lost souls. Religion in itself is a guide for the souls of planet Earth who are lost or unclear on what they're doing here. It's not for everybody. Not everyone has to read the Bible in order to go to heaven, so to speak, in order to experience the afterlife and the bliss endowed thereupon, or the trauma inflicted thereupon, whichever way one chooses to go. And that's always up to the individual, because it's a free will universe. So the men and women who are complaining and condemning and judging, need to take a good hard look at themselves, because they're not in a position to do that, right? Because they're conflicting with their own beliefs. They say that I'm picking, cherry picking, or using pieces of the Bible, which is exactly what they're doing, exactly what everyone's doing, every single preacher. It's all an interpretation of a guidebook that has most likely been corrupted throughout history, and people need to remember that too. The great deceiver is at work. And you don't think that he's got into the spelling or the spells written in that book and all the other books, just like the law, So, spirit to reality. Spirituality is spirit to reality. It is information or messages from the spirit realm coming through to reality. Now, those people of religion who claim that the Bible is the highest authority, where do you think the Bible came from? It is written accounts of people's spiritual experiences. And don't forget that even Jesus was persecuted in his time, as were all the other prophets who wrote the scriptures in that Bible. So who are you? Are you going to be the one who persecutes? Or are you going to come to a full understanding and trust that the Creator has it under control, and that everyone's soul journey and purpose is theirs and theirs alone, and it's a free will universe, and they have the right to choose which way they go and to believe what they choose. And anything that stems from that is a contract between them and their Creator. It's not for any man to decide or discern or condemn or judge. What's that Bible verse that they are bound by? St. Luke chapter 6, verse 37. Judge not, and ye shall not be judged. Condemn not, and ye shall not be condemned. Forgive, and ye shall be forgiven. So all of you people out there who are condemning and judging and putting your own interpretation on it, swallow your own words. You can't just pick and choose pieces out of the Bible as well. If that's your stance, and interpret it according to your beliefs and indoctrinations, it either all applies to you or it doesn't. So stop condemning and stop judging and leave it to creation. Because your condemnation and your judgment is suppression, and coercion which is slavery, which is the opposite of creation. And your God, or God, our God, the God, is the God of creation. Yep. Well, in reality, God is both dark and light. God is yin and yang, because you can't have one without the other. It's positive and negative. Yep. You can't have one without the other. So it's all encompassing. The objective is to find that balance point. Yep. 432 hertz. The balance point, harmony, balance between the dark and the light extremes. Because they both exist. They must both exist for existence to exist in the first place. The objective is to find balance. And how do we find balance? By the one single highest principle in the Bible. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. Yep. Don't judge them. Don't condemn them. Don't tell them what's going to happen and whatever. You know, I do it myself. We all do it. But it's not our job. Yep. And both dark and light have equal right to exist. And they do exist. Yep. Okay. So let's go back to that. Religion, yep, the Bible is written on other people's spirit to reality experiences. Period. So it goes to stand, in fact, that people in the past have had spirit to reality experiences. And then it goes to stand that people in the present have spirit to reality experiences. Yep. None more right or wrong than the other. And I'm doing this because I'm seeing a lot of religious people, Christians, Catholics, whatever you are, berating and condemning spirit to reality people with zero authority according to your own law. Yep. Persecuting people. Wake up to yourself. Who are you? Who are you? Ask yourself that. Are you above the law? Are you above creation? Are you the one who wants to be up on that magistrate's desk suppressing the people and the freedom of creativity? Is that what you want to be? Because that's what you look like and that's what you sound like and that's what you're doing. Yep. You're claiming the entire Bible to be true and correct. Well, I'm sorry, I haven't read the whole Bible. But from what I have read, there is conflicting evidence. Talks about freedom, talks about slavery. Yep. It's conflicting. Therefore, we must find the balance point. How do we find peace and harmony? Love thy neighbour as you love yourself. Condemn not and judge not. And ye shall not be condemned nor judged. Yep. If you go on forcing your will and your beliefs upon other people, yeah, based on your indoctrination and your beliefs, well then you have most likely been deceived by the great deceiver. Not the people who are out there looking after the planet and who want to do good things for nature and animals and humanity, yeah, who just want peace and to be left alone and the right to believe whatever they want and do whatever they want as long as they're not harming anyone else. What's the problem with that? Nothing. But if you go and enforce your will upon them, you have been deceived. Yep, you are doing the evil that you preach against. Period. No discussion. What you are doing is creating division. Yep. It's promoting separation, hate, persecution. based on your belief. Can you understand and comprehend that? You are doing exactly what you are preaching not to do. Hypocrites. 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 You know what? Dan Andrews, Kill Gates, the media, they've all got the right, to offer their services and contracts and whatever else they play to people. They've got a right to offer that because it's a free will universe. And people have a right to take that up because it's a free will universe. Yep. But if they're doing the wrong thing, that's between them and their creator. Yep. But when they start forcing it on people, then there's a problem. Then people have a right to self-defense. That's an inherent right for every single living organism on the planet. Consider the idea that the Bible may or may not have been corrupted throughout its time and interpretation and changing by organisations and groups that use it to control populations. Consider that. It may have been corrupted. If the great deceiver is that great, then yes, of course, he could have corrupted that document. Anyone could have. Your personal interpretation of it could be corrupted based on your indoctrination and lack of experience. Or experience. That's a possibility, right? Perhaps it's a test. Perhaps it's conflicting because it's a test for your individuality, for your individual soul. Do you follow blindly what you're told, or do you look inside, and go, hang on, what am I doing? Am I taking away his right that I'm fighting for? Because if I'm doing that, then I'm doing the wrong thing and I'm a hypocrite. Yep. Maybe it's not my position to do that. Maybe that's God's. Most people wouldn't recognize Jesus if he was staring him in the face, or wouldn't recognize the second coming of that energy that was Jesus if he was looking him in the face and telling him directly. Most people wouldn't recognize it because their head's so full of indoctrination and the belief that it's coming, that for it to actually be here is so far-fetched because they've been indoctrinated their whole life that it's coming. You wouldn't recognize it if it was here. So maybe maybe it's all a test, by both the dark and the light. We're going to give them this guidebook. We're going to give them a guidebook, right? And let's see what they do. Let's give them both options of both end of the scale. Yep, we're going to tell them what's right. Let's see if they do what's wrong when we've already told them what's right. They know what the highest principle is. Love thy neighbour as you love yourself. They know what it is. Condemn not and judge not, lest ye be condemned and judged. Are they going to go against those principles? Yep. Are they going to be deceived into going against what they believe? It's a free will universe. Of course you're given that option. But it's up to your soul to make the decision. Yep. No book, no man, no other person can tell you what to do. It's up to you. Understand that writing is spelling. Fundamentally, the majority of the population is under a spell because of the acts cast by the spelling in the acts written by the Parliament. Do you comprehend what I'm saying? Does that register? All words are spelling. It's up to the individual to take the information and discern it and decide and do what is morally correct. Yeah. You know, most spiritual people have an innate love for themselves. In order to love others, we must first love ourselves. In order to love our mother planet, we must first love ourselves. In order to love God and Jesus, we must first love ourselves. Yep. So what I'm seeing from the spiritual community is love. What I'm seeing and experiencing from the religious community is persecution. Yep. Indoctrination. Judgment. Indifference or difference. Based on the spells that they've read. The spell that they're under. If you don't believe that every human being out there has the same right to live, then you're already under the spell and you're far gone, and you need to check yourself and right yourself. If you believe that you've got more right to live than someone because of where they're born, check yourself. Because of their nationality or their race or their religion, labels, spells, spelling, written, spells. You are not above any and you are not below any, period. You know, when they say I use certain verses of the Bible, you know, cherry picking they call it. You know why I use that? Because you religious people are bound by it. You know what? And you know what I use it for? It's not for personal gain. I don't like doing this. I'd rather be surfing, living in Bali, eating healthy. Yeah, not worrying about this stuff. But this is the situation we're in. And I've got the capacity to do that. But I'm not. I'm here. Right? The reason I speak about those verses is because they are the verses of peace and justice and freedom and love. And if anyone's got a problem with that, come and see me. I've got no issue with that. Yep. But to say it's for personal use, you're absolutely incorrect. You've got no idea what you're talking about. None of the sacrifices I'm making are for personal use or personal gain. In fact, all they've done is cost me and my family. Yep, a lot. So pull your head out of your bum. And don't speak about things you've got no idea about. Because you are exactly what you're condemning. The biggest hypocrite on earth. And if you people who are using the Bible for anything other than peace and freedom and unity and love, if you're using it to suppress, yeah, you're stating that you have no faith in the Creator that you believe, that you have faith in. You're not trusting in Him, yep, or her. You're trying to take it into your own hands, yep. Which means if you're against creation and freedom of expression and freedom of action, yep, freedom of speech and freedom of belief, yep, then you are against creation, period. Yep, so ask yourself, if you're against creation and if God is the Almighty Creator, then who are you working for? Because I know who I'm working for. Jesus and God, yeah, according to the Bible, and the fact that we're here right now, both perform miracles, both perform magic, according to the limited minds of the people who couldn't understand the use of energy. Yep. They both perform magic. Do you persecute them? Do you judge them? No? Then stop judging others. Stop persecuting others. Who are you? Romans chapter 7, verse 14. For we know that the law is spiritual. Spirituality is spirit to reality. It frustrates me when men basing their faith and religion just on words, just on indoctrination and not their own spiritual experiences, start to condemn others because you're not speaking from a place of knowing. You are not speaking from a place of wisdom. You are not speaking from a place of experience. You are speaking from other people's experiences, and you're condemning people's experiences in this life and this reality because it's not your experience. Now, I'm sure there's a lot of people who are going to be triggered by this. I suggest you take that trigger and that emotion and you go and sit with it and meditate with it and think about why you're being triggered. Is it because your beliefs are being challenged? Yeah? Is it because what you've read and been told is being challenged? Does it sound wrong? Peace, freedom, unity, love? Does that sound wrong to you? You have a problem with that? So I ask people to share this video into your religious groups, into your law groups, into any groups you're in. Because it is the one who is persecuting the other and not trusting and having faith in their creator. Yep, they're taking it into their own hands. Who is the problem? If you are attacking other people, you are the problem. I don't go onto other people's pages for a couple of reasons. First of all, I don't have time for that. Yeah, I don't go onto other people's pages and berate them and tell them their beliefs are wrong or what they're doing is wrong, because I trust. I know. I don't care, because I know that whatever they're doing, has ramifications in the next life. It's irrelevant to me. Do what you want. None of my business. But people seem to feel the need to come onto my page to try and discredit me. To try and, what's the word I'm looking for? Denigrate me and my beliefs and the information I put out. If you don't like it, unsubscribe. Hit the unfriend button. I will have no ill will towards you. None at all. I probably won't even notice, to be honest. That's how much I care. But don't come on and try and force your beliefs onto me and other people like me, because you have no authority. And you are the one who's being deceived. And that's all I've got. Thanks for watching. Please share. Many blessings to all. May freedom, peace, unity, and justice and love reign forevermore.